You know that story you're hearing about AI day in and day out? Well, it might just be the greatest misdirection of our time. Let's get into it. This quote really gets to the heart of what we're talking about today. See, the whole conversation around AI, it's not just missing a few pieces. It's designed to point you in the wrong direction. And yeah, you're the one in the crosshairs.
So what exactly is this perfect distraction? I'm talking about that story, the one you've probably heard 100 times by now. It's super compelling, easy to understand. Basically, it's got all the ingredients of a Hollywood blockbuster.
Yeah, this one. You see it everywhere, don't you? It gets repeated so often that it just becomes the truth in our minds. The idea that there's this big technological Cold War going on, and we're the ones getting ripped off.
And you know why this story works so well? Because it's just so simple. You've got your good guys, the American innovators. You've got your bad guys, China. The stakes are huge, right? The future of AI. And the mission is crystal clear: protect our stuff. It's a story that's incredibly easy to rally behind.
Okay, but let's just hit the pause button for a second. When we hear these headlines yelling about stealing AI, what does it actually mean? Like, what is the specific act they're talking about? Because trust me, the details here are everything.
Well, the technical term for this theft is actually distillation. So here's how it works. Imagine you take a huge, powerful AI model and just hammer it with millions and millions of questions. You save every single answer it gives you. Then you take that giant library of questions and answers and use it as a textbook to train a brand new, smaller AI. So basically, the new model is learning from the public outputs of the bigger one.
All right, and this is where things get really interesting. Because to understand what's really going on, we have to look back and ask a simple question. How were our big AI models, the supposed heroes of this story, built in the first place?
And bam, there it is. Look at the double standard. When a Chinese lab learns from the public answers of an American AI, it's called theft. But when an American company learns by scraping the entire internet, your blog posts, my photos, everyone's creative work without permission, that's hailed as innovation. It's the exact same fundamental process, learning from data that's out there. The only thing that changes is the label they slap on it.
So you see what's happening, right? It's all about the framing. The whole narrative is engineered to make you furious about one of these things and cheer for the other one, even when, at their core, they're practically the same thing.
And that right there, that brings us to the real story. Because this whole China's stealing AI thing, it's not the main event. It's a smokescreen for something much, much bigger. Something that involves you personally.
There's a name for it: cognitive enclosure. It's a bit of a mouthful, but here's a way to think about it. You know how, centuries ago, common land that everyone could use was fenced off and privatized? Well, the same thing is happening now, but with our knowledge. Our collective brain power, our creativity, it's being digitally fenced off by just a few massive companies. They're taking all the stuff humanity has created, putting it in a box, and taking control.
So how does this actually affect you? Well, that blog post you spent hours writing? Scraped. That piece of art you were proud of and shared online? It's now training data. That helpful advice you gave on a forum? Yep, that's been absorbed into a model too. All of this, all of your work, your cognitive labor, is being hoovered up by these systems. And the real kicker? Those very systems can then be used to devalue the exact skills they learned from you in the first place. Okay, so if this cognitive enclosure is the real heist, why are we getting bombarded with the China threat story 24/7? What's the point of that distraction? Who does it help?
Let's just lay out the power play here. You've got the storytellers, Silicon Valley, the government, the media, and they're all pushing this simple, scary story about foreign theft. But the reality, what's actually happening, is that your work is being enclosed right here at home. So who benefits when you're looking over there at the distraction? Well, it's the very same players who are telling you the story.
To put it simply, it's a classic magic trick, a misdirection. You create this big, scary enemy over there to keep everyone from looking at what's happening right under their noses. It's designed to shift your attention, your anger, and all your tough questions away from the ones who are actually fencing off your creative work. But here's the good news. Once you see this dynamic for what it is, you get the power to change the conversation. It's time to stop getting bogged down in their questions and start asking some of our own. So instead of getting caught up in how do we stop China from stealing our AI, maybe the real question is this: how did it become okay for a few big tech companies to just vacuum up the entire internet, the sum of human knowledge, without asking anyone for permission?
And the follow-up question has to be, why is the line being drawn right there?
Why is it innovation when they learn from the whole internet, but it's suddenly theft when someone else learns from the public output of the tool they built with that internet data? It just doesn't add up.
And let's make it personal. What happens to the value of your work? When the things you create are used to train a system that could one day make your job obsolete, what does that mean for your career, for the value of your skills?
And really, this might be the biggest question of them all. When you write something or create a piece of art or solve a tough problem, who actually owns the value of that work once it's been sucked into a giant AI model? Who gets to profit from your thoughts? That is the question. And it's the exact question this whole distraction is designed to stop you from ever asking. It's time we all started demanding some answers.